Hey, everybody, welcome to the No Fluff, No Gimmicks Raw podcast for entrepreneurs, specifically real estate investors. We are the Golden Ticket Podcast. Check us out at thegoldenticketpodcast.com. I'm your host, Jesse Davis, and my co host, Mr. Jason Cuero. American version.
Yeah, that is the American version. I think that from now on, after you introduce yourself, I want to introduce myself. I'm your
I like that.
co-host,
I
JC
like
Barrett.
that. Yeah, I like that, man. Say, and my co host, boom, go over there.
Me. Hey, bud. Happy
Hey, man.
Happy Monday. Is it Monday?
No, it's Tuesday.
Tuesday.
We missed last week. We were going good. Your power went out. You
Oh,
lost Wi-Fi, or that's what you said. I don't know if that's really happened, but we're back on. It's fine. We can rock it. We good, man.
how's your week?
How's your, man? It's going. Man, I had my mom and my nephew. He's 13. He came down. We had a good time. Um, uh, mom and my mom and my dad are really into like land that they love looking at, properties. So it was fun talking to her about what I'm doing and all that stuff. But yeah, I mean, went to the pool. That's what we do every week. Just me and the kids. We go swimming pool. So
Yeah, that's what kids like to do. Why not? Same thing.
what about you?
Same. Jaden was with his mother, so it was just the three of us, which was nice. So took Viviana to a bunch of water themed parks. It's so hot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well, you know what? You don't want to be cooped up in AC 24/7.
Nah.
So you can't necessarily be out hanging out at a beach. You can. I take that back. You just got to be in the water because it is like
Yeah, that's the same
85
here.
minutes.
So I mean, it's that hot there too, huh? It's the same.
Yeah, sad.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
why
it.
I got the pool membership. I'm like, if we're gonna be outside, we gotta be at the pool this year because you can be outside at the park or whatever, but I mean, you got an hour, and you're like, all right, we got to go. It's too hot. So, but I mean, the kids are swimming. My son swimming like a fish, dude.
That's
My
awesome.
daughter, I think we talked about it last week, but dude, this week she's pretty much don't even need. I don't bring the floaties. She swam probably at least 15 feet by herself
That's
underwater.
amazing.
She's going
Yeah.
catching her breath. I'm trying to teach her how to get the breath without sucking in water. So she's doing good.
Yeah.
She's
How old is
fearless.
she
So
again?
she'll be 4 in September.
Yeah, so you'll see what happens. Mine turned 4 in March. So we're at the stage of I throw those things that drop down in the pool
Same thing.
and she goes down. The problem is she doesn't
Ooh,
come up. Like she holds her breath long enough. And I'm amazed when she does them.
I know, for real.
It's
How
crazy.
how deep is she going? Because my daughter does the same thing.
Well, I mean,
Competition.
let's see. About the pool is not as deep. It's like 5 feet, 5.5 feet.
That's pretty good. 5.5 feet is pretty good. She's diving. She can go almost 5 feet, but she's still learning to. But yeah, she's the same way, dude. Holds her breath forever,
Crazy.
and and just like fearless getting in the water. I'm like,
Yeah, that's amazing. Good
girl,
for
you
her.
crazy, man. But
So
yeah, man,
anyway,
this week when we talking about we talked like, hey, talk about me, talk about talk about. That's a stupid country song, the dumbest song ever. It's just about kind of what I do, what I'm doing, my daily activities, stuff like that. Got a pretty interesting deal, kind of working now, waiting for the sellers to sign, hopefully. So, yeah,
now
started off, I guess.
listen,
Ask me some questions.
most people associate especially in this day and age, when it comes to land, they think of the traditional model that I'm in, which before we transition into what you're in, so we'll get it out of the way so they'll know clearly the difference of our business models being completely different. I'm focused specifically, for the most part, on living individuals that have some sort of ownership interest in land that they've got, for the most part, no ties to. And I'm trying to buy the land directly from them off market for something less than what the market value is. And the reason why is because I can provide speed and accessibility to closing, and I can look at the parcel and figure out what I can or can't do. And it's as simple as that. Most people getting into the business, that's how they start out. Now, in the past year and a half, as you know, and I'm kind of building up to you and what you do, outside of doing what I do, there is a segment of a niche of real estate as it pertains to land that is not for individuals that are just getting going, unless they've got the wherewithal, the background, and the nuts and bolts of everything that it takes to acquire land in the first place. So I've come to find out that there are people that own land, as you know, that have what we like to call in the business messy titles, which are, get ready, this is the intro, which are individuals that own land. They don't know what to do or how to get rid of or sell the land.
Mm-hmm.
Then comes this individual by the name of Jesse the Cowboy Wildman Davis. And Jesse, why don't you tell
Yo.
our illustrious audience who's listening to this or might be seeing this, tell them what you do and on a daily basis, what's a day in the life look like and what are you doing and what do you focus on in your particular niche of real estate?
Okay, awesome. That's a good intro. Yeah, so um I love what I do. It's super interesting. I'm excited again about real estate. I feel like I'm actually adding some value to people. Um, so basically, what I'm doing is I'm finding. So let's start from the beginning. How do I find these deals? How do I find how am I finding these deals in general? So I'm pulling a tax delinquent list from the county. So people who are behind on property taxes in Texas, that's where I'm focusing on. In Texas, the taxes are high. So in land, if the parcels, if it's big enough, the land's gonna the taxes will be higher. But just for example, so I pull a tax delinquent. I'm gonna filter that by the years. So this is an Excel spreadsheet. I'm going to go first. How many years behind? I want them to be, I like 5 years, but I'll go 3 years and up. So
Right.
that's your first indication. They haven't paid. There's a problem. I'm looking for some kind of a problem that I can solve. There's a problem there. Then
Now,
I
hold
need to
on a second.
find.
Now, let me ask you
Go
this:
ahead.
when you're trying to find the problem, and obviously you're looking at, for a lack of a better word, you're looking at stuff online, whether it's Excel sheets or whether what's kind of popping out at you that you're saying, "Ooh, I like that problem. That's a problem that I can figure out, handle, or address." What's
Yeah. So the first indication is they're not paying taxes. So
okay?
if you're not paying your
Tax delinquent.
taxes, tax delinquent. You haven't paid it up till now. 3 years. I like a little bit more than that because that really shows a huge problem. Like there's a reason why you haven't done that. The next indication I'm looking for, and it's got to be in there every time for me for right now, is I want to find the owner on the record is deceased. The owner is not alive. Back taxes. Something's going on. Either people don't know. There's a reason why there's a deceased owner and there's delinquent taxes. And what I'm focusing on here recently, what I've kind of zeroed in, is I'm focusing on just land, not houses. And I'm going to rural counties in Texas. So counties that individuals are deceased and their back taxes and it's land. And I look at that for one reason because less competition. These individuals that are getting called are not getting called at all. I'm sorry, they're not being called. I'm probably the first phone call they've ever had ever. So, and the reason why I'm doing that because I started off in Harris County, which is Houston. I'm like, well, I live here. Let me try Harris. I'm not saying I can't do deals there, but I was focusing on everything. Everything in Harris County is a deal. Is a deal. Everything's a deal.
Why?
in the tax delinquent list
Why?
because every property that has back taxes is worth more than the back taxes. So let's back. I'm going off topic here, but I'm just saying what I'm doing now is
Yeah.
going after the lower hanging fruit.
Tax
Which is
delinquent,
land.
Harris County.
Yeah. So land's your lowest hanging fruit over everything. It's a tax delinquent. There's a problem, and it's deceased owner. So my next step is to let me try to find the deceased owner. I want to find out who, if they had a will for one. That's the first thing I look for. Let me look for a will. If it was probated, is there a will? If there isn't a will, okay, that's fine. Then I'm going to start looking to try to find their heirs. So let's say, just for example, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to type in, let's say the name is John Smith. I'm going to type in, which is really hard to find. So the more rare of a name, the easier it is to find the information. But John Smith, obituary, Texas. Then I'm kind of going to put some stuff together like, all right, I'm looking in Harris County. Um, let's look for stuff that's in Houston. And sometimes you won't get it in an obituary. If you get an obituary, that's just a gift that you got because it'll have their name.
Right.
They'll have their relatives, the sons, daughters, and then you can kind of go from there and kind of do a further research. Um, but also, now you got to make sure you're searching the right individual because that John Smith could be this another John Smith in Houston, Texas. So what I do is then I go to a website called Been Verified, which is beenverified.com. It's just a skip tracing company. It costs $40 a month. You basically can skip trace addresses. And I usually, if I can have a mailing address, I'll skip trace it. And then I'll get all the owners or people who might have lived there. And then if I click on, say, John Smith is on the possible owners or people that live there, I'll click on his record. And then his record will have uh, when he died, when he was born. I cross-reference that with the obituary. And I'm like, okay, this is the right guy because it's relating to this mailing address. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm cross-referencing. So now all the people listed in this obituary that are his kids, I know are, and I can probably find them on Been Verified because they're going to be listed under his name as well. I can click on his name too, and it'll show his name, his death, all
Yeah.
that stuff, and it'll show people he's related to. And I go to archives. So I use a lot of stuff online. I use archives.com, ancestry.com, Been Verified. That's pretty much it.
So let me
I
ask you a
mean,
question because, there's a lot. And this was a general overview. And I don't want
yeah.
to stop, but there's certain things I need to know, generally speaking, because I'm curious. So,
Mm-hmm.
tax delinquent, low hanging fruit, land. How many heirs do you usually like to kind of feel as though, all right, there's too many heirs? And at this stage of where I'm at, I don't want to look at it if there's a dozen heirs. That's the first part of the question. So, how many heirs? And then, do you have some sort of I don't want to say formula, but when you're looking at the tax delinquent, how much due diligence other than heirs and delinquency before you start ruling out there's not enough meat on the bone for the amount of time it's going to take me with the two
Mm-hmm.
heirs? So the first
Mm-hmm.
part is how many heirs, and then the second part is how do you determine if a lead is a lead once there's a number of heirs that you like?
Yeah. So number of heirs, I've been told, first off, when you're first doing deals, don't do any more than 7. I have been looking at deals that are more than 7. And the reason is because I've kind of leaned into my own niche inside of a niche, is that I'm trying to find the properties that nobody's doing anything with. And so if I can dive deep on one where I can find all the heirs and I'm good at doing the research, I might be willing to go after those properties because probably no one is talking to those people at all. Now, doing 7 or less is better because you're more likely to get a hold of them. You're more likely to cut a deal. I mean, you're able
I'm
to
sorry,
do the
doing
process faster. You know what I'm
doing
saying?
more than 7 or less than 7
Less
heirs?
than 7, because think about it. If I can get a 7 on board, um,
That's a lot of
there's
people.
less people to deal with, less. But then when you have more people, then you have more leverage, sort of, because they don't know each other. And that's another thing too. When you're looking for heirs, and I'll go over a couple of deals. When you're looking for heirs, if the heirs know each other and they're talking to each other, it's a little bit more difficult to get the deal done sometimes because they're talking. Not like we're trying to pull wool over their eyes, but I need to be able to solve a problem here. And if you guys are talking, then maybe y'all can solve it yourself, but you can try, but I'll offer my services. But if you don't like it, it's fine. But usually it's people are arguing, this person isn't like this person, and I'm able to help them by buying out their stuff. They're like, I'm done, cool, and I can move on. So what was your second part?
How many heirs? And
Oh, and
then
then what's the deal?
how do you assess
Assess it.
a deal to say, all
It's
right,
pretty
like,
it's
yeah,
it's pretty simple just because you're going after. Now you look at land. If it has road frontage, it's not a landlocked. I want 5 acres or more, because 5 acres over there could
okay,
sell
give me
for
the
a road.
avatar of what you're looking at
Yeah,
land.
so I want 5. So I do want 5 acres or more. Now, if it's an acre and it's close to the lake, there's a lake where I'm looking. Then I might look at that one. Or if it's a lake lot, obviously, heck yeah, I'll take that. Can be half an acre. I don't care. But I want larger. I want 5 or more acres. And um, then that's when you look. Okay, 5 acres. What's the taxes owed on it? And then I don't really care about what I'm going to pay them. I'm thinking 5 acres is worth, let's say, 60,000. Um, they owe 25,000. Okay, well that's still a deal because there might be 10 heirs. I can all pay them $500 for their heirship, or every deal's a deal because if it's 5 acres or more, if it's road frontage, it's pretty much a deal to me because I know that I can. There's a spread there somewhere. Um, so yeah, that's kind of. I look for larger acreages. Like right now, I'll tell you a deal. I just got off the phone with the lady, and all these people are really pleasant to talk to. I haven't. Everyone's nice and friendly. They want to talk about their family because you come with a bunch of information, and they love talking. And I've told this lady, I just told her like I talked to her once today, and then and then she called me back an hour later, and I found more. So I just told her her great grandfather had like 12 kids. She didn't even know that. So you end up telling these heirs more information they didn't even know about their family. So they like you. They want to talk to you. Anyways, I looked at this deal specifically and I knew it was going to be a complicated because there's a total of 30 acres and it was a bunch of family members, brothers. There was like 4 brothers and they're all deceased and all of their lots touch each other. So I'm like, I'm assuming if I can get one of their information, I can pretty much track down all the heirs all at one time and then get all this land together. And I kind of did already just in a few hours. And I think I found, which is a lot, 15 heirs. And I haven't looked if they're dead or not yet. Yeah, um, and they're all probably not talking to you. They're not talking to each other, none of that. So they probably have no idea they would even be an heirship to it. So, um, the next step will be find out if they're alive. Go dig a little bit deeper. 'Cause a lot of these guys that are doing these type of deals, they're buying a deed now and kind of figuring it out later on. They're not really. I like knowing for sure
What do
what
you like
I'm really
knowing for
getting
sure, I
into.
guess?
What's that?
What do you like knowing for sure? I mean,
I like knowing for sure that you are an heir. Like you are
how do you do that?
99% sure by looking, making sure there's not any wills, um, that these people didn't have kids. Like just tracking down what we call, you can Google it, the
Yeah.
Texas intestacy chart, which determines how things are divided if there's no will. Um, I'll tell you a deal that actually have the contracts are out right now. We're talking to them. It's 46 acres, um, in a Camp County. That's where I'm looking right now. It's a very rural area. My mom lives out there, but man, and this is a mistake that I made. I think is I gave the people I did a lot of research and I gave him too much information. Not like I'm trying to hide it from him, but I'm like, I'm talking too much and I need to just say, hey, you are possibly an heir, not hey, you're on this wheel. So, anyways, there's three of them. There's only three that I think so far. I'm pretty sure it's only three because they were on the wheel um, as being the heirs for 46.25 acres. Um, I don't know. It's got $24,000 in back taxes, and uh, not sure what it's worth. It's actually two separate parcels. One is a 28 acre parcel with two road fronts. It's like kind of a rectangle. So you could split that into two 14s. Then you got a 19 that separates it down here. That's on a small little lake that not a lot of people use, but a small lake. Only issue is this land. There's a lot of pipeline right of ways kind of going through it, and it was harvested for timber back in 2009. So they're done. It's probably grown up. But anyways, the big deal with this one is now this is kind of funny because I found I found the brother. There's an older sister, a middle brother, and a very young sister who's like 19. But the rest of them are like 28, 30s. So I'm gonna call this guy first because I get his email and get this. His email is at GVG Capital. I'm like, oh god, no, I'm just you don't know who they are, but the last name's Capital, so I'm just like, oh, this guy's probably some kind of real estate guy. He's probably
Yeah,
sharp.
yeah, yeah.
So
Okay.
I'll look up GVG Capital, and it's a lead company. They provide leads to you. So I call him first. So I figured if he's in touch with his older sister, but he doesn't really talk to he doesn't talk to to his little sister at all. Anyways, so I talked to him and he's sharp. I'm like, hey, I give him I give him two offers. I give you $500 now. You sign the deed over, and then when I clear title, I'll give you $2,500. So kind of like 500 now, and I'll give you $2,500, say in a month or so. Okay. Next deal was I'll give you. No, I said I'll give him $1,500. No, I said five. No, I said five. Yeah, five. So my next offer was I give you $500. What did I say? Forgot what I offered now. No, offered. I'm sorry. I offered $1,500 now, and then be done with the deal. $1,500. Give me your deed. You're done. 500 now, 2,500 after I clear title. Then he balked at all that. He's like, I doesn't really move the needle. Well, their dad is actually the heir, but they're the children of the heir, because he passed. So he owns a bunch of mineral rights, and they've been working on this for a while now, trying to fix it. So this guy balked at 20. He's like, man, that's really moved the needle. Doesn't do anything for me. Like, I can get the deeds, I can get the death certificate, I can file affidavits. I'm like, okay, would you want to partner? So I'm actually working with the guy out of the group on this deal. So I call, like,
Interesting.
let me talk with my partner. That's awesome to have your partner to go to. And I do have so I went to this guy, I got off the phone. I went to this guy. Hey, he wants to partner. And this guy does the same thing. It's like a JV agreement with somebody. So he's like, hey, I'll offer him 60-40. So I went back to, hey, we can do 60-40, 60 for us, 40 for y'all to split. He said, okay. And then, okay, we'll get the documents all set up. My partner's getting the documents all set up for him. And then I call his sister. She's like, oh, thank you. She's very, very thankful. I said, hey, your brother's on board. Okay. Send the documents to her. The youngest one, I sent documents to her. Anyways, now they're like, they've had the documents all weekend. Their brother is like, well, I'm gonna have my attorney look at it. He's my friend. He's in real estate. Okay. He's like, we're also talking to realtors up there. We're just trying to keep all of our options open. I just said, and he asked me a couple of questions like, hey, what's the exit strategy? Um, I told him everything. I didn't. He said something about getting a realtor. I didn't reference that afterwards. I was just like, he doesn't. I think he knows what he's doing, but then he doesn't really, because he's trying to, like, he can't really list it because it's not in his name. It's in his grandfather's name. That's not even his grandfather. It's like a step grandfather. Anyways, the youngest one, she's pretty sharp, I guess, too. She has her attorney looking at it, but she's not in contact with them. But they're all very nice and they're polite. No one's, yeah.
No, I was going to say, and I'm sure you'll interject or you'll add to the fact that have you noticed how many people dislike their family? And
Oh, dude,
there's
it's a
almost never like, oh, I haven't spoke to so and so in years. I don't talk to them. Whether it's the mother, the father, the brother, the sister, the aunt, this, and I think to myself, God damn! Now I know why there's messy titles.
this. That's the reason. Every one of these messy titles, there was a family something, and this whole family, I won't get into that, but it was the mother. Their grandma was a piece. She was a piece. It was a long thing. So, and their dad was a piece. I mean, like,
You knew?
not a good guy. Yeah, a snake, dude. He was a snake. Made her sign the will while on her deathbed, pretty much like the day when she's in the hospital. Anyways, and that's why they kind of. It's not even their land. I mean, it's their grandfather. He's not even their grandfather by blood at all. But anyways, so they're being honest with me, which I like that. They're being genuine, honest, and they're not ghosting me. I'm fine. And I heard a podcast today about a guy on Logan's about this business of like, because I felt like I need to be salesy. I'm doing something wrong that I'm not getting them to want to sign. And then I'm like, he's talked about you give them a lot of information and you offer to help them. And if they don't want your help, that's fine. Like, let them try to do it on their own. If you can help them to finish, you want what's best for them. I'm like, I like that. I want to live by that. It's just hard when your first deal, you're like, I just want this deal. Please just sign these things. I know I can make 100. I could probably make 100 grand maybe, or at least 50. I know I can make 50 on it on my cut. And I'm just like, man, I just want this deal to work because it would just be, man. Anyways, but so I'm not going to stress over it. I moved on, get more leads, talk to more people. So I'm not focused on that deal so much.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Let me tell you,
um,
and we're still staying in the context, and I'll put the mic back in you. I think it's worth mentioning. You should have mentioned this in the beginning, as I should as well with you, which is you got to have as many leads as possible so that you can
mhm,
care less if one drops because there's always another one.
that's true. And you can't force someone to sell to you. You can't force them. I mean, they can trust you and everything. And I feel like these individuals do trust me, but at the same time, they want to do what's best for them. And the guy's like, he even said, I was like, let me make sure I'm hearing you correctly. When I first pitched, I was like, you want to make as much as you can, but you're willing to wait for it. And he said, yes, I have all the time. We're like, okay, that's all I needed to hear. I want to do whatever you want, whatever do you want to do. But let him go try to fix it. Let him try to fix it and let him make the most he can off of it. Um, and then yeah, I mean, like that's fine. But yeah, I'm not gonna worry about it. I'm gonna go to the next one and just and keep working. And
Yeah.
I just need to dude. I'm gonna make 250 this year. I'm just like I'm so convicted about that. I'm gonna
Are
do
you drinking?
everything. Huh?
Are you
Am I
drinking?
drinking? No, drinking water. Or I
Just want
did.
to make sure. Remember, we've got the alcohol 30-day challenge too.
Yep, no alcohol, man. Man, I just want to, man, I think when you put that in your mind of like, I'm going to do this, you're, you naturally just start going towards that direction of like, you do what you ever have to do. Like, you're so convicted, I'm going to do this, I'm going to make this, I'm going to make this. Even if you don't really believe it, you got to make yourself believe it and then your actions will follow with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, I really do. That's pretty big.
So,
That's
yep.
awesome, man. I mean, listen, I would say equally what we do is the same, just as hard. I mean, if I
Hmm.
tell you we're going to end relatively soon, but I don't want to end it on a not so much a downer, but the reality, which is even though sometimes deals get signed and executed, and you're thinking, "Wow, I'm going to make this that."
Hmm.
Man, sometimes you get revving and you're going and you're excited. These deals get signed, and you come to open a title, and they're like, "Well, you need this document, you need that document," and if you're thinking you're going to close deals in 30 to 60 days, and now you're into the 45th day and you're still chasing the seller. It's a lot. It takes a lot
Yeah.
out of you, and
And
it is one of those things that you think. That's why I mentioned before. If you're constantly marketing, and constantly adding new leads to the pipeline, they're all gonna close. It's just a matter
Yeah.
of when. Some might close all at once, some might stagger, but if you don't fill that pipeline, whew,
I
it's a
mean,
lot.
this entrepreneurship. I mean, we have a hard time. Even last year, I had all those. I had 4 deals, and every one of them had title problems. I'm just like, all at one time, like, man, I'm not gonna close any of these. I was so stressed out. And then all of a sudden, a few months later, one closed, another one closed, another one. I'm just like, oh, wow, I'm just so excited. But like, I was telling someone the other day, we're almost done here, but the hurdles. So first hurdle is to find a seller that wants to sell, uh, or the heirs. Second hurdle, get them to sign. Third hurdle, let's get to a title. Hopefully, title commitment comes back and there's not a bunch of judgments or liens. I have no idea. There could be a bunch of judgments. There could be a 50K IRS judgment on this property. I don't know. Or they might come back and say there's more heirs. Or you need to do this or that. Where I could, and then the fourth hurdle is now we have a clear title. Let's go market it. I might go out to the property. It might just be a junk property, like
Yeah,
with a bunch of pipeline right of ways that nobody wants to buy. But the reason you risk all that is because my initial, investment in this is so low. I mean, it's pennies on the dollar. Basically, I'm getting a deal for free if you think about it,
yeah,
because I'm not paying the taxes that gets paid on the sell side.
sure.
All I'm paying for would be if I did get it, I got a clear title, I would get a survey and I would clean it up a little bit. But I mean, at that point, I know what I got. But I mean, for right now, it's just my time that I could make. Because I can make whatever we could sell it for. I don't have anything in it. So, yep, that's what I do, man.
It's a
Hopefully
lot.
next week we gonna talk about Jason, man.
We're not. We might
We're
talk about
not
something else.
though.
Don't get
Okay.
everyone all excited. I mean, just saying.
um. All right, man.
Maybe we can
Well,
have a
hey,
segment one day that we talk about exes. What do you think?
oh, that sounds kind of fun. Yeah, we've been meaning to ha- to have a conversation, you and me, about it. We might as well have it on here. I mean,
Sure. Let's
because
just
I mean, all of us most likely a lot entrepreneurs are probably that's our personalities. If you're married and you have kids, and you've been married the whole time, I mean, that's awesome. But a lot of us are just wildcats, cowboys, cowgirls too. We're just wild. We're risk takers,
yeah.
and we do stuff sometimes and you attract who you are anyway, and where you are in life, you usually attract those people. So you're
Sure.
attracting wildcats too. So, but yeah. So next time, hey, let's do that next time. Actually, that sounds kind of fun.
We're
That'd be a
not
fun
doing every
podcast.
podcast. We'll definitely do something close. How's
We'll
that
set. We'll
sound?
do something. Not do that. We'll do something close to it.
Something close.
Okay. Don't tell me. I'm down for whatever.
I know you
As
are.
long as there's no,
I'm afraid that
we aren't cussing or
anyone
saying
might.
anything. But I'm down for it. I'm an open book. I'm transparent. So, all right, guys, we enjoyed it.
We did.
Jason, give us your handles. No, I'm just joking. No handles ever. You can catch us at the goldenticketpodcast.com. You can joint venture with us. There's a form there. If you got a deal, you want us to look at it, you want a JV with us, we'll help you out either way.
Go
You
to
want to be a
Jesse
guest on
for
the show?
messy deals for sure.
Yeah, whatever you got, send it over, and we'll do what we can to help you. Even if we don't make any money, we'll help you.
Yeah.
You want to be on a guest on the show? There's a form there too. Fill it out, and then you can check me out at Jesse Davis REI on Instagram and Jesse Scott Davis on Facebook, or text me 409-828-2044. Jason, anything else, brother?
Likewise, brother
All
man.
right, guys. We will see
Enjoy.
y'all next week.
Out of here.
Bye.